Welcome back, everyone, to this episode of the Nonsensical Knowledge Podcast. It's your boys, Irv and Edwin, and we are back. Episode number 73. We are cruising towards 100. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. Make sure you jump in, leave us a comment, and let's get busy. What's good, Irv?
What's up, bro? Chilling, man. Be fucking
Yeah,
Sunday, everybody.
right. It's definitely a chill Sunday. I definitely appreciate it because we've had quite the busy week, and we took some time off just to kind of reset, re-energize, and get back into the swing of things. Man, the news just does not stop, bro, ever.
It just keeps going, man. We're in a rapid fire. A lot of stuff going on in the world, locally, statewide, all over, man.
Yeah, statewide is kind of crazy because we just what was it, yesterday or the day before, they had dropped an article that there was some nuclear testing or some training being done in regards to nuclear training. Is that right?
Yeah. In upstate New York area, the capital region, Albany.
Yeah, and they were specifically at Albany Airport. And then it isn't confirmed, and we're kind of speculating on the Knowles Atomic, but we have what's called Knowles Atomic near us, and it's in Saratoga County, and it essentially works on nuclear propulsion. Is that right, Irv?
Yeah. Nuclear propulsion. That's been there since 1946.
Knowles has, really?
Yeah.
See, I didn't know that. I didn't know it's been around that long.
I didn't know that neither. I thought maybe
It seems
80s or some shit.
because you've driven by the plant, right?
Yeah, all the
Yeah,
time.
it doesn't.
All the time.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's to me. It almost seems like newer.
Yeah, we have a lot of military installations in the area too. But you thought it was strange too because I mean, one of the theories of the drones in Jersey, which are all over the country now, is that they were sourcing, trying to find some stolen nuclear material. So this definitely piqued my interest when um, it came to the back door.
Yeah, it is kind of interesting because, like you said, early on in the New Jersey thing, there was some speculation of whether or not there was the reason that these drones were flying around is that they were sensing for lost radiation or nuclear signatures or something like that. And this is like the first time in our lifetime, at least that I know of, that we've had this type of nuclear training so close to us. We also have quite a few military bases near us. So we're in the upstate New York region, and basically we have the Watervliet Arsenal as well. And the Watervliet Arsenal, I don't know how active it is now towards the military complex, but it pushes out some shit for them, doesn't it?
It really does. Weapons, cannons, fire, and it's a really secure site. It actually is like 40% of the entire city. What it takes up, so it's pretty damn large.
Right. What up, Kenny? How's your Sunday evening going?
Kenny.
No, it definitely does take up quite a portion of Watervliet, and like they're pretty serious over there. So like, we had a mutual friend of ours that went over there to get a job, and they actually had like some bullshit warrant,
Yeah.
and they, uh, they arrested him on the spot because he had a warrant and because he tried to access the military base just for his job. They made him wait there till the police arrived to arrest him.
To arrest him?
Yeah, they made him wait there, bro, to arrest him. Yeah. Kenny, yeah, I hear you, bro. Bills lost. You know what? I just got to put it out there, man. We all know what the Bills stand for. The only reason they just haven't made it back to the bowl. Shout out T. What up, T? Oh, look at you with your Go Bird shit. Listen, man, to be honest, I got no horse in the race for the Super Bowl. Everybody is kind of fed up with the fucking Chiefs, and the refs and everything else.
Just gotta stop.
So that's interesting too. And just to get away, just real quick to depart from the drone shit and the nuclear shit. We'll get back to that in a second. But do you think that's kind of like a setup too in the NFL? You think this is like they're rigging games, and the refs are really determining this shit?
Oh, yes. Hell yeah. I mean, some of it's like WWE, bro. Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Only way I thought that the Bills were gonna win is because they got a new $1 billion stadium being built. But that could be for next year, actually. But yeah, the Chiefs, they definitely favor the Chiefs. Taylor Swift. Cut
Yeah,
to
it's
her
money.
still every commercial, bro. It's like, come on, man.
So I personally have stepped away from football in like the last 5-6 years. I used to be a Cowboys fan, and I bumped, hit my head and shit, and then finally woke up and I was like, this is some real gladiator shit. This is the give them food, give them circuses, and they'll never revolt type shit. Yeah, I think Vegas also has a lot of stake in it. There's a lot of money being tossed around on these guys, and what they give, they gave Mahomes like 500 mil or some shit.
Yeah. 500 mil, 10 years. They reworked it a couple times too.
Right. But they got to get their money. Let's see. Kenny got it for us. 385 million the first year. Her and Kelsey started dating. That's extra income in the Chiefs organization, I believe. So again, we know that they have marketing deals. There's, like Irv said, they cut to her every fucking chance they get. Which is kind of cute because Kelsey is a shell of himself. He's not even like really that impactful anymore in the Chiefs organization. He's just kind of riding that. It's like Rob Gronkowski kind of just riding that Tom Brady championship train,
Yeah. It's plus they're both, I mean, it was clear to me once Taylor was a Pfizer girl and then Kelsey was a Pfizer boy. Brought to you by Pfizer. You know what I mean? Like the shit just was like too blatant. Like, oh, let's put the two Pfizer kids together. It'll be amazing.
Well, yeah, and now we've talked about this on other episodes where that's kind of sellout shit, So it's like I wonder how they're feeling now after all the bullshit with Fauci and like they're not really running them commercials. I'm sure their agents are like, yo, stand down, don't even do that no more. Yeah, it's wild. But getting back to it, shout out to everybody out there. We got 13 with us so far, 3 on Facebook, 10 on X. I can't see Rumble. For some reason, we had an issue with Kick. I don't know what the hell's going on there, but we're trying to get up on Kick. Trying to get up on Kick as well. But yeah, so nuclear training right here in Albany, not open to the public, not open to the media. What do you think is going on, Herb?
Well, there's a history of trainings for events like training for shootings or training for 9/11, where events actually happened sometimes during training, sometimes immediately after training. And one of the theories with the drones said was that a nuclear container, a container with nuclear material, went missing out of a port in Jersey, and the drones were trying to sniff it out. And then we've had a ton of drones over our airspace up here as well, and all over the country. So like, if something is out, and then this training comes up, it's like no news allowed, no people allowed, just interagency, feds, state and local running this training. So, my antennas went up like this shit could be something, could be nothing.
Well, like you said this morning when we were having a conversation, is they're not going to tell us that there's a credible threat, right? So really what would happen is we would have this kind of instance. It's just training, it's always training until, like you said, something actually fucking happens. Or conveniently, what ends up happening is there's people that are in the area as the shit's happening, and it's like, oh wait, oh, what a coincidence, Sandy Hook, there was training in the vicinity.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's definitely interesting, especially with how the drones have really been taken out of the media in recent weeks.
Yeah, we were hashtagging New Jersey drones, and they definitely suppressed any mention of New Jersey drones. They wanted it to go away. But one of the mayors, man, he's got video. He's not hearing it. He's like, nah, this shit is still happening here. So like, what's really going on?
Yes. See if you can find his video. I might have bookmarked it on our shit, but he did just come out recently and say, like, yo, we still have no idea what the fuck is going on here. And the government's been super quiet. Trump, I believe, gave his staff 100 days to sort out what was going on, and then they had to report back, and he was allegedly going to make a disclosure or whatever. But in the meantime, we've had some bigger news too. Homeboy's going to release the JFK files, MLK, RFK files, and that's going to be a huge release too. We'll be breaking those down as they come out.
Yeah.
I'll be right back, everybody. I just got to check my Wi-Fi real quick.
Okay. You're all good. Jack was the highest paid. Yeah. Them boys. So where's everybody watching from tonight? How was your weekend? Anybody make any money on the games at all? I didn't bet shit.
Oh, on the foosball?
Yes, anybody made any money.
Mama said foosball's the devil. Yeah, no big winners. What we got out there?
Not.
Yeah, it's tough, man. I told you. They want their Vegas gets their money.
Why the hell would they do it? All right.
Got it?
No, I got it.
We're up to 14, 2 on Facebook, 12 on X. We're getting some people up in here. Can't see Rumble. Shout out to anybody on Rumble. We have 0 on Instagram right now.
I've recently been watching and spent some time with the videographer out of Long Island. I mean, he has orbs, these glowing orbs of light on camera that as you watch them right before your eyes, they seem to transform into a mechanical drone. So I've actually watched it myself where these orbs are glowing balls of light, different blinking lights all over the place. And as it gets closer to you, you actually see it transform into a drone. Whether it's a drone from the beginning and it's being obstructed by bright light, I can't tell you, but it is cause for concern. We have looked at flight tracker data. We don't see any airplanes in the skies. These things are absolutely some kind of phenomenon that's happening just over our homes. We need answers and we need them quickly.
Yeah, that's so important to note that, you are looking at flight tracker data and not seeing records of this. So, Mayor, are you confident that we will start to get some definitive answers, whatever those answers may be?
I believe we're going to get answers. Calls for speculation as to whether there can be definitive answers or not.
Yeah.
I do take the president at his word. I do think that we are going to get some kind of disclosure. I've listened to government speak. I've listened to our state, New Jersey, speak. I've listened to the federal government speak, and they've been very specific at times. They've said things like, it's not our DOD, it's not our Homeland Security. And I've learned, in being in this business for a while, that when government speaks very specifically, listen to what they're not saying. So when they say it's not DOD and it's not Homeland Security, they're not saying it's not a private contractor. They're not saying a lot of different things there. So they're giving themselves some plausible deniability when they say things specifically like that. However, I'm still fairly sure that this is probably going to be our government assets, as the president said when he was president-elect, and even now. If it was a foreign adversary, I'm almost certain with $1 trillion military budget, we'd be able to take these things out of the sky. The fact they're not coming out of the sky and we keep seeing them, I truly believe that we will find out, whether it's sooner or later, that it is probably some kind of government asset.
So homeboy's feeling like it's a government asset. Right? It basically, to sum that up, what's super intriguing about these drones, though, is even him saying it right there. That's the mayor. He's saying, or was it the mayor or the governor? It's a mayor, right? All right. So he was a mayor. And this dude's basically coming out and saying what we've said episodes ago. These things start out as just a bright ball of light. Like, you don't see anything at all. It's just an orb. It's off in the distance. You know what I mean? You can't even tell. Soon as it gets close to you is when it does this mimicry shit. And it's almost as if it mimics a plane. So it looks like a plane, but it looks slightly off. It's just not like it's a passenger jet with no windows, or it's got a weirdo tail fin, or it's just different. These things are changing right in front of our eyes.
I don't, yeah, man, it's just so much in the disclosure front that it's just sifting through information. There's been more shit that's dropped over this last year, really, last 6 months than ever before, man. So we're reaching a point where the truth is going to come out. I mean, there's a couple people saying too in the spare that, like we were talking about earlier when we talked about all the people that are missing. I think Stephen Greer was saying it today. That it might just boil down to we're getting abducted, cattle mutilations, like all the experiencers, the visits, the probing, all of that shit, is more of the dark side of the UFO phenomenon.
Yeah, absolutely. And when we spoke about this earlier, we kind of went over it because, there's a lot of moving parts to this. There's obviously something going on, right? And as Irv and I spoke earlier about on the phone is there's a whole bunch of different factions of people, government agencies, whoever, shadow government, whoever the fuck you want to call them, and they're all vying for certain levels of disclosure or non-disclosure, or they do the disinformation. They'll start feeding out all the other crazy shit just to muddy the waters. And it's kind of crazy with this because we have a documentary coming out here soon, right? Irv and I, we spoke about this earlier. There's a big documentary coming out. I don't know if there's a name on it or not, but it's going to be released at one of the film festivals. And it's essentially all the top guys, the Elizondos, the Chris Mellons, the Hal Putoffs, the Tim Burchetts, the all of these big names that are coming forward and going to say right to your face, there is a non-human intelligence. And it's here.
Listen, it can't be denied any longer. Age of disclosure. I'll run it. I got it up. I think it's worth showing trailer for it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be it's a lot, man. But these aren't your these are all government insiders. These are not like your run-of-the-mill cats. So check it out.
The American people are ready to receive the truth.
Humanity is not the only intelligence in the universe.
Humanity is not the only intelligent species.
We are absolutely not alone.
Non-human intelligence exists.
UAPs are real, they're here, and they're not human. I spent 25 years as a senior official with the CIA.
I worked on highly classified UAP programs.
28 years as an astrophysicist.
I served as the 4th Director of National Intelligence.
Director of Aviation Security in the National Security Council.
A one-star admiral after 32 years of service.
People that come forward with this, I feel like they've taken their life in their own hands.
I was recruited to a highly sensitive government program that investigated unidentified aerial phenomena.
For over 16 years, on behalf of the U.S. government, I worked as a senior intelligence official on the unidentified aerial phenomenon topic.
We learned that the U.S. government was involved in a long-running secret war with other nations to collect and reverse engineer vehicles not made by humans.
I have seen with my own eyes non-human craft and non-human beings.
So this thing, it's rotating. There's a whole fleet of them.
The first country that cracks the code on this technology will be the leader for years to come.
China has established its own version of a UAP task force.
You think for a second that they wouldn't consider using it to achieve their ends of domination?
This is similar to the Manhattan Project. This is the atomic weapon on steroids.
This is so secret. Very, very few people in our entire government have been allowed access to it.
Even presidents have been operating on a need-to-know basis. But that begins to ramp out of control.
It's not acceptable to have secret parts of government that no one ever sees.
You better be careful about a government that doesn't trust its people, because there's no telling what they'll pull on you.
This is the biggest discovery in human history.
You had information being locked away that could change the trajectory for species.
It has so many beneficial impacts, including clean energy.
We should have disclosure today. We should have disclosure tomorrow. The time has come.
What else you want to know?
See, I get so fucking pumped, bro. But this seems like it's a marketing campaign. It's like, motherfucker.
You gotta, man. You gotta compete to get eyes. You know what I mean? Like, it's it's a documentary.
True that.
Yeah, it's hyped up though. But you kind of gotta. In this age of information, but I think people should be more in tune to see it. Like, it should just be broadcast everywhere. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no doubt about it, and it will be, no question. When that shit drops, it's gonna be so mind blowing that people are gonna be like, it's share. Yeah, and I get it. You really do have to compete for eyeballs these days. Everybody's got this real fast fucking attention span where it's like 10-second TikTok videos, you know what I mean? So it's really hard to get people to sit down and actually relay this information to them.
Yeah. I like that they included the free energy. That was the first time I heard Mellon talk about free energy. Also about changing our species and the way we live, man. But there's also that war component to it. It's just I think the old guard, man, like the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s cats are dying out.
Yeah.
Maybe that's gonna be a change for us. With this, get some new age and new thought leaders in there that are younger and like, yo, this war shit's crazy. Let's be on some peace shit. I mean, that's my hope.
Yeah. Well, I think you're right. And you said something there, the old guard, right? And that's been being tossed around a lot as well lately. The old guard, the new guard. You're right. A lot of these older cats are now in the points of position where they're not exactly viable anymore to disclosure, or like you said, they're just aged out in a way or been replaced, unseated politically, whatever. And we're starting to see these young cats come in and be like, nah, we're done with this shit. You old heads have been fucking everything up. But again, this also pushes back because on the opposite side of disclosure is the cats that don't want disclosure, right? They want to keep this tech, they want to keep it for themselves, and they want to use it for a military application. That same faction is doing the same thing, though. They're getting younger.
Mm-hmm.
They're recruiting, they got to keep it moving. So it's this never-ending battle almost between good and evil of who wants this information to come out and who doesn't. And like Irv and I spoke about earlier as well, is like we keep hearing about this boogeyman, and it's like who's the boogeyman? Like, who is it? What faction of the government is it?
Oh, that's a good question.
Well, it's really super relatable. I don't know how many of the Marvel movies you've seen, Irv, but there was in Captain America. In Captain America, there was what was called Hydra. And the concept of Hydra was that it was like almost like a kind of like the Operation Paperclip scenario where they brought a bunch of people over, but these people were still loyal to that. They weren't loyal to the US in a sense. So what they did is they just bided their time, said, you know what, we're going to sit here, we're going to grow our organization, we're going to find people that fuck with us, and we're going to grow, and we're going to control shit.
No, it really is. I mean, you have all these secret black programs. Only your team knows about it. You do really just become isolated in your own faction, like the retrieval program. Like, these cats are allegedly retrieving UFOs, UAPs, eggs, bodies, all of that stuff, but they can't talk to anybody about it. They can't talk to, their senators or, representatives or other people. They are now, but you can get killed. You can get murdered. You can lose your life for speaking. So it's,
yeah,
unless you have a full team that's ready to do it. That's why I think the age of disclosure is something, because some of these guys, I mean, you're going to kill them all. You know what I mean? Like, it's the strength in numbers. There was the head of DARPA came out and was like, he was visited by a Mantis.
Shut up.
Shit, you're not, bro.
I didn't see that. That's wild. They had a DARPA?
Yeah, it's Lieutenant John Blitch. DARPA, CIA, like all this shit was like Mantis rolled up on him. Like a Mantis 7 foot tall shit. Just like you got the joints. You
know what's crazy too is didn't we just talk about somebody with a Mantis?
We just did, bro. We were just like the Mantis shit. I mean, I don't know, man. I've only read about it. I haven't seen or heard anybody actually talk about, like, yo.
Imagine that, though. Imagine an 8-foot man is running down on you. All it wants to do is have sex and rip your face off.
Yo, remember? Yeah, I think it was last episode, bro. We were talking about running into one. It's like, it's crazy because we talk this consciousness shit right around the phenomenon. It's like we talk about it, and then the shit like appears like in reality, like we were just talking about it. Like, it seems like we're leading into this shit, which is wild, man.
Well, again, we also spoke about this though, Irv. When we speak it, are we speaking it into existence? So now, just like the spells and the words and everything else, we are putting this frequency, this vibration, this thought, this reality out there. We imagined it. I'm not saying we were the ones that did it, but at the same time, people imagined it. And look, now it's here. It's right in front of us. Let's run that shit. Let's see what we got.
Literally get the opportunity to meet your abductors.
I already did. A tall, 7-ish foot praying mantis looking being was upset with me and was
this
chastising me.
This was during one of your abduction events.
This is right around the same time as this mountain bike incident. It was the environment that I thought it was in my bedroom on the third floor of a split level house, and it came through a sliding screen door. There was a deck out there, 3 stories up, no stairs down, and just walked right through the door, was standing over me. And again, I was terrified, frozen, paralyzed to the bed. And I got a male presence vibe from this
I
being.
don't like this is where it's going.
And he's just looking at me very intently and explaining to me, look, this body that you got, it is just a soul housing group. It's a brain housing group. It is just a machine that your soul occupies for this lifetime.
Will you pause
And
that for 1 second, Irv?
Yeah, we're going to mess with it. We're going to get up under the hood and we're
Just real quick for everybody that's watching with us. I just had Irv pause that for a second because this is technically our educational conversation, so we don't catch a fucking copyright. Because apparently, just for everybody listening, we will be stopping through videos just because we have to pause it, do a little bit of commentary, just so we don't fucking take their copyright shit. You know what I mean? But what's interesting already, couple things. 7 foot tall Mantis thing was chastising him, and this was in his house, right? So whenever you're ready, Irv.
gonna adjust the carburetor, right? I had just dated myself there. We may swap a couple of parts out, but we can't steal you. We can't steal your soul. We can't steal your consciousness. So quit screaming and writhing around and let us do our frickin' job. And it's like the equivalent of a surgeon telling the patient, stop squiggling, just like the veterinarian to my Labrador Retriever. Hold him down, for crying out loud. I got to be able to check this tendon. And so I got that very condescending and vigorous instruction. But here's the thing. As proof, there was this image that he put him, and it was terrifying. His mandibles that were kind of behind like a casing or a shell opened up, and he starts grabbing chunks of my cheek and he's ripping it, and there's blood spattering on the wall, and I'm feeling the tug, and I'm feeling this flesh, and the whole time he is conveying to me, see, we can't get your soul. We could do a lot of damage to your body if we want to. We don't. We're trying to help you, but this is how bad it could get. So stop.
All right, so pause it again real quick right there.
Squiggling around and let us.
Now, this is kind of concerning in a sense, right? So, yeah, you can't steal my fucking soul, but you're about to eat my face. Yo, it's crazy. I just said that.
You did, bro. Yo. Y'all can keep all that visitation shit. I ain't summoning the fucking thing. I'm good. That's why I'd be like, yo, I ain't calling no shit to me, bro.
But this dude is an ex lieutenant colonel or something, though, right? He's pretty high
Colonel. Up. We'll pull up his information.
Yeah, well,
it's definitely worth pulling that up.
Yeah, we'll check it out after the video. But just it's really interesting because again, this dude is telling us about an abduction experience, which really isn't an abduction experience. This is an experience he's having in his house. George, what up, bro? Thanks for tapping in. And you can run it whenever you want, or unless you have some thoughts on it.
No, it's a couple seconds left. Let's just rock it out.
Get this done.
Was that physical damage to your cheek real?
No, I felt the tugging, and I had the visual, again, a false fuzzy memory.
So this is seeming like some more consciousness shit, right? This thing either manifested in front of him, appeared, teleported, whatever it was. He's seeing this with his mind. So, Irv, do you think that maybe when these things try to contact us, they can either raise us up to their frequency or maybe come down to ours to manifest?
I think, yeah, because I mean, if they tap into our brain, they can basically put images in there. They can have it's basically like hacking your brain. Hack your brain and you start seeing shit. Like we talk about all the time. Like our eyes are only taking in light, our brain processes the light and creates an image. So if you hack the brain, you can create images. So but that shit's scary, man. That shit's really like that shit's not
But this is another instance of a person telling us that this being was in front of them, right? Because a couple episodes back we did the Billy Corgan thing, where Billy Corgan from the Smashing Pumpkins, lead singer, came out and said that he had sex. He didn't, I guess, exactly say he had sex with a shapeshifter, but he said that when they took their clothes off and he turned around, they were someone else. It was something else. So yeah, it's definitely interesting. And then to have all of the physical attributes, I'm almost that was still real vague for me, because what were they trying to do to him?
Yeah, I don't get like we're trying to help you, so chill out. Like, bro, you just ate my fucking face. Like, no, right, George? Do a digital pass, dude.
Right, pass the blunty. But yeah, and that's kind of what's interesting to me is that allegedly this being or entity was telling him, like, hey, look, relax. What do you say? Just let us check this tender.
Yeah. It's like it seemed like they wanted to work on him. Like enhance him or some shit. I mean, that's all I could really. That's why these short videos, they definitely do a disservice, because it's like what exactly were they trying to do for you? Because that didn't seem like help me. That seemed like scared the shit out of me. I don't know, man. That's just graphic.
Well, again, there's been many instances where we've had alleged human interaction with non-human intelligence or different beings. Again, grays. This is the Mantis thing has been popping up a lot lately, but it really begs the question: if there are Mantis beings, that would imply that there's like an insectoid kind of being, right? An extraterrestrial, interterrestrial, whatever we want to call them. And the infinite possibility of worlds, that's not really that hard to think would be real. And then when you go and look at real praying mantises, like right in our face, ones that get like just about this big, they're super interesting. But this thing had mandibles. This thing was picking at his face. Like, I just don't understand. Maybe do you think some of us are born with a certain chromosome or a certain DNA strain where it's like, all right, some of us get plucked, some of us don't?
I think so. I think maybe the way we were genetically modified, and I mean, even with like, let's say like the bloodline of Christ, you know what I mean? Like how how the theories around that shit is. They're always searching for that bloodline. Like, is it a special bloodline that they're interested in? I don't know, man. It's just shit.
The bloodline thing would be interesting because, as we know, a lot of ancient cultures have had said that they were descendants from the gods, right? So, like, let's go back to what was it there? King Tut's father, Akhenaten, I think his name was. That dude was one of the cats that went from like having the the polytheistic religions to having multiple to being monotheistic and worshiping one god. But really what it was the winged disc. So they want to say it's the sun, but the sun's not a winged disc, right? So he changes over to this one god theory, but he's different. Like, homie's shaped it. See if you can pull up a picture of Akhenaten. That shit's hard to spell, though. And one of the things Akhenaten did is he made sure that, like, his guys that were chiseling shit, like the artists and the people that were carving shit, made it realistic. Like, it had to be as realistic as possible. And wait till you see this cat.
You want the image of him, like the statue, or what do you want?
Yeah, that's cool. Does it look like a long, slender face?
Yeah, it's the Barack Obama dude.
Barack. Let's see what we got.
Gotcha.
But it's interesting because a lot of ancient alien theorists think Akhenaten was actually. So let's see if we can zoom in on his face, bro. What does that look like to you? So do you think that just looks like a regular cat? We'll go, once we get a good look at Akhenaten, we'll go and look at a couple more. Another interesting theory, though, is allegedly Akhenaten's, this is King Tut's dad, right? Akhenaten's brother, Thutmose, is allegedly, and this is all alleged because there's a lot of debate over it, but allegedly Akhenaten's brother, Thutmose, is actually the biblical Moses. Which would make sense around that time, leading the Jews out of Egypt. And that's around the time Thutmose disappears from history. But this particular Akhenaten cat almost looks like weird alien in a sense to me. We'll go and look at it. Just pick I guess you can either get King Tut's or trying to think of another big pharaoh. But you could just kind of see the difference in their carvings. And Akhenaten is lost to history. Nobody's ever found him, allegedly. So I'm wondering if he was an alien, passed down the bloodline. Over time, mutations happen. Maybe we're not all just as pure anymore. These extraterrestrials come down and say, wait, these guys don't have the gene. Take them to the prison colony. Let's go run up on Mars.
Get his ass out of here.
Okay. Who's this?
Yeah.
Is this
This is Tut.
All right.
Definitely.
So
Definitely.
That's go ahead.
No, definitely more human looking.
Right? Which is wild. Because Akhenaten was his dad. As far as I believe so. I could be butchering it. I'm not a scholar in Egyptian history, but I fucking love that shit. And a lot of people forget that fucking Egypt's in Africa.
Let it be known.
I'm just saying, bro. Just saying, man. History be weird. So yeah, in any event, the point was just to try to show that there were people that were close to the gods. So like the Merovingian bloodline, like you spoke of with Jesus Christ, right? That bloodline is the bloodline of kings. It goes back beyond Jesus, right? Now, who established that bloodline? Was it extraterrestrials?
Most definitely, bro.
So yeah, but I guess having a mantis, 7-foot mantis in my face, bro, I'd shit a fucking brick. I'd be ready. I don't even know what I would do. It depends. It depends on, I guess it depends on how they're feeling. You know what I mean? Because I know how mantises get down.
I know. And it's like the worst shit to be on some higher intelligence shit.
Yeah. What's up with Corey Good, bro? Whatever happened to him?
I don't know. Did he die?
I don't think he died, but he was the one of the original ones pushing the Sphere Network, right?
He was. I don't know what happened to him. Let's see if he's out there. Do you remember that movie? What the hell was it? They were training young people. Is it Ender's Game? They were training these young people, like they were astronauts, to play like this game. And they told the kids like it was just a video game, and they went out to space, and then they were battling like this ant civilization.
Shut up.
Yeah. And it was just like this continuous war where they were battling these ants, and then the queen consciously could tap into the humans and be like, why are you doing this or whatever. But just some more crazy shit that you don't think is practical or real, but it's like, holy shit, what if there is like a planet like that where the ants became the main species on the planet? You know what I mean? But these ants, they really just work together. It was crazy. But they lied to the kids and told them
yeah, well, with that being said, with the just like an insectoid kind of being, that's kind of exactly what you just said. They were, however they got to be the dominant species on their planet, or just advanced or evolved to such a thing. Like, that's a giant ant, bro. It's a mantis is obviously different, but it's like, that's a giant insect. And it's wild. It would be so crazy, dude, if it came out and it was like, yo, mosquitoes are little fucking aliens that have been biting you and testing your blood.
Yo, you'd be sick, right? Yo, this is the ant from that movie, bro. I don't know, all this shit just
whoa,
from Ender's Game. And
Ender's Game?
Yeah, it's a dope sci-fi flick. But this is who the humans were at war with, this ant civilization. But the queen had consciousness. She could tap into whoever. So they always tried to shield themselves from the queen. But with all the shit, it's like, made me think of it.
Yeah. Well, no, it's super interesting because think about it like this too. Imagine if the US government had an idea. So Project Blue Book, I think they identified something like 51. I can't remember the exact number, but there was an alleged amount of number of different beings that they found. And what's interesting about that is that if they have information like that, or if they would put it in a sci-fi flick or a sci-fi flick to normalize it, like, yo, we don't know if there's a day coming that you're going to see Alien Romulus, or you're going to see Ender's Game, or you're going to see the little gray green men, like Mars Attacks, act. You know what I mean? Like, sci-fi often reflects reality.
I know, man. That's why it's like, what the fuck? You know, and then it goes with the planetary shit. Like, I think anything can evolve to be the top species on its planet. You know what I mean? Like, if the dinosaurs weren't here and we didn't step up, like, could it be dragonflies? Could it be? It could be something. It could be whatever nature chooses. You know.
Yeah, well, you know what's weird about us though, Irv, is there's been so many iterations of us. So, like coming down the evolutionary line, it's Homo sapien, Neanderthal. Did you see that hobbit species they found?
Yeah, yeah.
Like like Lord of the Rings, Bigfoot, Frodo Baggins, hobbits, bro. Yeah, see if you can find that shit, because that shit, like, it just goes to show you though, like, even us, like, we've been so many different things, or there's like separate pygmy people, or there's, bro, where are the giants? When are we gonna find the giants?
They said they hit all the giants. I mean, they said there's been a ton of discoveries, but the museums and all of those guys just bury it away, man.
Yeah, you know what it is, man. Anything that doesn't go against, and this is one of my big issues with the church. Not Christianity itself, not the overall idea, faith, religion, but the Vatican and the church, because they went out of their way to destroy stuff like that or put it in the archives, whatever. Anything culturally different that didn't follow the narrative of the book, they got rid of. Toss it. Library Alexandria, burn that bitch to the ground. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of things that's in that Vatican, bro, that I guarantee you. Oh, yeah, here we go. Giggity. Homo floresiensis, also known as Flores man or hobbit, is an extinct species of small, archaic humans that inhabited the island of Flores, Indonesia, until the arrival of modern humans about 50,000 years ago. The remains of an individual who would have stood about 1.1 meters, which is 3'7", were discovered in 2003 at Liang Bua Cave. As of 2015, partial skeletons of 15 individuals have been recovered, including one complete skull referred to as LB1. Homo floresiensis is thought to have arrived on Flores about 1.27 to 1 million years ago. There is a debate as to whether Homo floresiensis represents a descendant of Javanese Homo erectus that reduced its body size as a result of insular dwarfism, or whether it represents an otherwise undetected migration of small Homo habilis grade archaic humans outside of Africa. So This hominin was at first considered remarkable for its survival until relatively recent times, initially thought to be only 12,000 years ago. So they lived up to about 12,000 years ago.
It's not bad.
Yeah, considering 1 million years ago.
Yeah, little dude was hanging in there.
Well, not only that, dude, but it brings up a bigger question, right? Because if we go on, so again, if we go biblically, the world is only 2,000 years old. You know, if we go globally, the earth is billions of years old. If we go whatever, this thing lived 1.2 million years ago. Almost a modern human. Which is bananas, bro. Because again, this is insane. Modern history is going to tell us that this is impossible. That this thing was thriving way back then.
Even to recent history. I mean, realistically, 12,000 years ago, I was chilling on the island. It'd be interesting to know, you know, is that the blood or the genes that are in today's dwarfs as well? You know what I mean? Like,
that is super good point. Like, are they descendants of Homo floresiensis? Which I don't know though, because again, it says they don't know if it came from, you know, insular dwarfism or whether it represents an otherwise undetected, which would make sense too, even with like the pygmy people and shit. Like, these are tiny humans, bro. Literal tiny. This is the literal definition of a Frodo Baggins, Bilbo Baggins.
Mm-hmm.
And look, it even says, let's see here. However, more extensive stratigraphic and chronological work has pushed the dating of the most recent evidence of its existence back to 50,000 years ago. Homo floresiensis skeletal material at Liang Bua is now dated from 60,000 to 100,000 years ago. Stone tools recovered alongside the skeletal remains were from archaeological horizons. So now, are they saying they pushed it up now?
It looks like they're pushing it. Yeah, pushing it back. No, they pushed it up. Yeah.
Yeah, pushed it closer to us.
Closer. But they do that shit. Because when you first read that million years, they don't barely have us going back a million years. You know what I mean?
Have you heard about the hammer that was found in limestone?
No.
Give that a Google real quick. It's I know it's super vague, dude, but I saw it on an episode of Ancient Aliens. If you guys don't watch it, you fucking should. It's really good. But they found a hammer, like a literal hammer, found in like limestone or something like that, bro. And it had to have been there for like something like 2 million years. So that if there's a hammer 2 million years ago, somebody had to be there to swing it.
That's a fact.
Get what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember what it was called. What kind of hammer? I know it was let's see if shout out to everybody out there with us tonight. Thanks for popping in. Yeah, so but this is all interesting shit too, because again, like I said, this is just a different perspective. Like there's been so many iterations of us. It wouldn't surprise me that there, you know, might be back in the day when oxygen was more prevalent, Irv, like, you know how everything was bigger.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't there be a 7-foot tall fucking praying mantis?
Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right, so let's see here. All right, so we have what's called the London hammer. Oh, there she is.
Got it.
I'm gonna pull it up real. Yeah, I'm gonna pull it up real fast. So this is called the London hammer, and I'll see if I could zoom in just a little bit more. You got that, Irv? Can you see it all right?
I can see it.
Oh, let's go out one. There we go. So this is the London hammer. It was found. The London hammer, also known as the London artifact, is a hammer made of iron and wood that was found in London, Texas in 1936. Part of the hammer is embedded in a limey rock concretion, leading to it being regarded by some as an anomalous artifact. The tool is identical to the late 19th century mining hammers, and the most likely explanation for its encasement in rock is that a deposit of highly soluble travertine formed and hardened around it within a relatively short period of time. The hammer was purportedly found by a local couple, Max Hahn and a female friend, while out walking along the course of a red creek near the town of London. They spotted a curious piece of loose rock with a bit of wood embedded in it and took it home with them. A decade later, their son Max broke open the rock to find the concealed hammerhead within. The metal hammerhead is approximately 6 inches long, has a diameter of 1 inch, leading some to suggest that this hammer was not used for large projects, but rather for fine work or soft metal. The metal of the hammerhead consists of 96.6% iron, 2% or 2.6% chlorine, and 0.74% sulfur. Now, the interesting part about this, Irv, is when we do shit like this, we leave a carbon footprint. This thing has absolutely zero carbon in it. Right? So, anyways, the hammer began to attract wider attention after it was bought in 1983 by the creationist Carl Baugh, who claimed the artifact was a monumental pre-flood discovery. He has used it as the basis of speculation of how the atmospheric quality of an antediluvian Earth could have encouraged the growth of giants. Baugh's Creation Evidence Museum purchased a hammer around 1983 to begin to promote it as the London artifact. Let me see here. I was trying to find where it was encased in the shit. But either way, all right, so it was encased in limestone. So the crazy part about limestone is it takes, I'm just going to Google it real quick. How long does it take for limestone to form? Oh, let's see what AI says for us. Limestone can take millions of years to form. So now this hammer was found in limestone. So that would suggest that unless it was a great hoax, then we're looking at a hammer that is millions of years old.
Yeah, and it says marine life. So I'm sure they can figure out when was that area underwater. Had to be seawater.
Right.
I think that's why he mentioned the flood. Like,
So just a cool, interesting thing. But circling back to the UFO thing, what kind of other beings do you think we're going to see here, Irv? This is a Mantis figure. This guy said it was like like I guess telepathically picking at his face. He felt like it was real.
I think it's widespread. People be seeing all types of shit, man. I mean, there's even, speculation that Bigfoot it rolls with them, gets just dropped down. Droids, there's Palladians, there's blue like avian bird looking shits.
Yeah.
It would just be, I think it would be like the animal kingdom, and realistically,
Just on a bigger scale.
Just on a bigger scale, yeah. Which you might not want to disclose that shit, because that shit is
scary.
That shit's scary, bro. Like you're out in a federal park or some shit, out on a walk dolo and shit, and run into a team of mantis, bro. Like, you're gone.
Yeah,
bro.
that's bugged out.
You're getting on the ship.
Yo, follow me for 1 second, right? This is kind of crazy. But imagine if cows, horses, cats, dogs, crickets, all of these things that make noises, right? Imagine if they're talking to us, which we know they are, but we can't understand their frequency. Like, so like they have like a real dialogue going on. It's not just your dog, oh, I gotta go out. Like, they have personalities. They may not be soul bearing in a sense, or who knows, maybe they are. But again, maybe if we upped our frequency or changed the frequency, we might actually be able to hear the dog or hear the cat.
Communicate.
You know?
We are locked off to it in a sense. Like, no. You know what I mean? We're taught it's not possible.
No, we are. It's like, whoa, come on, man. It's fucking talking to your imaginary friend, bro. What? Right, though? And if we look at it in a paranormal sense, when and again, consciousness, there's these things that children and animals see that are there, clearly energy there, they're reacting to something. Little kids be walking with their little friend that ain't there, and we tell them it's just your imagination.
Yeah, no, it's there's realms out there, man, for sure. Like I said, I used to see shit, but I shut that shit off, man, because it just gets a lot. It gets to be a lot, man. I want to see shit walking by.
So, in your experience, like when you were letting it flow, did you ever feel like there were good and bad, I guess, spirits in a sense, or like whatever you were experiencing, like you said, shadow people, or what kind of vibe were you getting? Were you getting like a fucking good vibe, bad vibe, worried?
There was beings that didn't care, really. Like, they weren't there to interact with you really. They were just passing through. Like
Sure.
there was no worries. There was ones that like the hair just stands up on your arms and shit.
Sounds so similar to like the astral plane, bro.
Yeah, I think, man. I mean, I don't know. I've been thinking about some experiences lately. I would have like under the full moon, man. I would have like these beings, little beings too. But I looked it up. It's like they call it like a sleep paralysis. You know what I mean? You feel like there's shit
You
holding you
can't
down.
move.
Can't move. You can't scream. You can't. You know what I mean? But they said that's a sleep paralysis. But I would swear like shit would be holding me down. But when I looked it up, I was like, yo, that's kind of when I kind of shut that shit off.
Yeah, just get a good night's sleep.
That shit was terrifying.
Well, yeah, because again, bro, when especially in that real vulnerable situation for anyone, you're in bed, you're comfortable, you're with your family, you're getting ready to go to bed, get to work the next day, and then you just like are like, whoa, you're frozen. And sleep paralysis demons have always been like a talk, but that's why like I wanted to ask you if you felt like it was like demonic in a sense, or if it was, or maybe it was just a being that was fucking like, do you think it was like the Mantis, bro? I got to imagine when this dude was seeing the Mantis, he was seeing the Mantis. Not everybody was seeing the Mantis.
No. I think I felt like it was a fair thing, man. That's why that feeding off fair shit resonates with me, because I felt like it was just to
scare
create fear within you, and like, but not do anything to you. Not.
You know what's
couldn't do
weird about
anything to
that?
you. It's just fair.
You know what's weird about that?
What?
Monsters Inc. What did the monsters do?
They scared the shit out of you, bro. They had to scare the kids. Yeah.
To fill up the tanks, bro.
I never tied it to that shit, but yeah.
But it's like that again, that like it's happening. So again, if let's just take a step back and we'll say reptilian or whatever entity is feeding off of fear, anxiety, depression, those low vibratory things, like to me, that would make sense, because it's like, yo, this thing is, fucking, it's trying to feed the tanks of fear. That's how they get their juices going, is this fucking fear and anxiety.
Fair.
And then,
yeah.
And Disney has always had a way as well of kind of like alluding to shit.
That's very true. But it's a children's movie, so you wouldn't, most people
you would never
connect.
You never correlate that.
Fun movie.
Right.
But yeah. So there's two. I would say, there's some like three too, but then you can also see them within people too. You know what I mean? That rage, that hate.
Sure.
But overall, I would say most of them are just like passing. Like may look at you, but keep it moving and be watching TV and cereal shit. Stop.
Sure.
Look at me. I look at it. It keeps moving. I wasn't scared. I was fine.
But that's almost like some universal traveler shit. So like if we're passing through, and again, as human beings, we don't have this ability yet, or that we know of, to pass through these dimensions or So again, you have a shadow being. What might be a shadow being to our eyes is really a person or an entity or whatever the fuck it might be passing through. Like, my bad. I got to fucking kind of pass through here to get to the next. You know what I mean? And that's maybe why you didn't feel a fear, as opposed to like, okay, we both acknowledge, oh, how did that thing feel about seeing you?
Like,
You
that's
know, like,
true. Like, let me keep it moving. Like, no, I don't know.
imagine you were the first human that thing ran into. It's like,
They
whoa.
would just troop through the wall too, like whatever. Like, not even like like gone, bro. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I just I don't know. I think a lot of it was like being introduced to Christianity young and the angel demon shit. Maybe my mind just was a little active then.
Look, you know what, dude? I don't know. Or listen, religion for you already know. Religion for me has been hard to find in a sense. But from an early age, the miracles of, I guess, religion or prayer, however you want to phrase it, have always mystified me. So like what used to scare the shit out of me was like Revelation and all of that stuff like that. But at the same time, like, you ever heard of Padre Pio? So Padre Pio, dude, I'm going to get him. I'm going to pull him up. But Padre Pio was a cat that got the stigmata, right? Like, the fucking, the wounds of Christ. So let me see if I can find them here. But there's certain things about no matter what religion is ritual, you're invoking something. You know what I mean? And somehow that has a connection to the afterlife or different fucking, I don't know, man. I believe in a sense, let's see. He was marked by the stigmata in 1918. Let me see. I'm going to pull him up here. Present. Share screen. We want Padre Pio. All right. So this is Padre Pio. But this dude, so there were certain things that had happened back. Yeah, here he is right here. I believe he was, so he was elevated to sainthood as well. Catholic Church, obviously. Because Christians don't fuck with that. Let's see here. So, yeah. So, let's see here. He was born Francesco Forgione. He was Pio of Petrosina, widely known as Padre Pio, was an Italian Capuchin friar, priest, stigmatist, and mystic. He is venerated as a saint in the Catholic Church, celebrated on the 23rd of September. Pio joined the Capuchins at 15 and spent most of his religious life in the convent of San Giovanni Rotondo. He was marked by stigmata in 1918, leading to several investigations by the Holy See. Despite temporary sanctions imposed by the Vatican, his reputation kept increasing during his life, attracting many followers to San Giovanni Rotondo. He was the founder of, it's a whole lot of Italian, maybe. So yeah, basically, he was allegedly a healer, bro. And the one thing that always was weird to me is how he caught the stigmata, right? And now these are just things that I'm going to see if I can get a picture of that motherfucker. Let me see here. So, trying to find a decent flick, but so essentially when someone gets a stigmata, man, is they get all the wounds of Christ. So like the through the hands, through the feet, like shit like that. And it's odd to me, Irv, because it's like that all comes from religion. You know what I mean? Like they were tapping into something. And I don't think it's just an overactive imagination, bro. I think you're on a frequency, and it's like that frequency just happens to fucking coalesce with, different parts of the universe, man. But this dude was allegedly allegedly a healer and all of this other shit as well. If anybody wants to check him out, his name's Padre Pio. He was like one of the only real reasons I was ever actually interested. Like I was like, all right, you know what? Let me read the Bible.
Let me check it out. Stigmata, bro. That's.
Yeah, I want to see if I can grab a picture of that real quick. See if I can find like an actual good pic of that. Because that shit's cray. So what do you think? You think, obviously, you have your faith, Irv. How does Christianity differ from like Catholicism in that sense?
I mean, it's all ritualistic shit. Like I think that it's basically the style that you prefer. You know what I mean? Like I think
sure. Different glove.
Yeah, like Catholicism is like regimented. It's almost like a military arm of Christianity. Like everything's just bang, bang, bang. This is what we do. This is what we stick to. Same services, same processions. Like it's just really strict. And then Christianity is more open and free with a mix of like mysticism and healing and herbs and all that shit. You know what I mean? You add that all in. But they're all pretty much in line.
Sure, but again, it's you're tapping into something with thought, with prayer, with consciousness, and you're able to touch base with your faith, one way or the other, whether it's Catholicism, it's Judaism, it's the Christianity, Islam, whatever. Yes, this consciousness aspect of this conversation is going places that it's going to be mind blowing, bro. What we find out here soon.
Just tapping in, open that mind out.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what this non-human intelligence looks like. If it's like a fucking these just mantises just start phasing in everywhere, it's like, whoa. Like imagine they're just living at the crib right now. It's like, homie's just chilling over there. He's at the coffee table, fucking nice cast, dude.
Nah, for real. Just like the insect itself, bro. Like it's like it's looking through you. Like, you know what I mean? When you're up close with it, it's like you're connected to it. You know what I mean? Almost consciously. And it's not like you're not saying shit to it, but you're just like, what the fuck is this? Like, it's just so beautiful. And like those eyes are just like piercing.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, again, dude, it's just like I'm starting to get the feeling that we're one of the only species, maybe, that isn't hooked up on the consciousness level yet. Because it's starting to sound like, all of these other, and again, nothing has been confirmed, but all of these other entities, the Mantises, the Greys, the what do you say, the avians, the Anunnaki, the Nordics, like everybody's hip to the fucking consciousness game except us. Like we can't just turn it on. Like, all right, no, we got to meditate. We got to do certain things. We got to eat mushrooms, do DMT, do shit like that to really bust that door down, and only for a short period of time.
Yeah.
So it's like, I feel like we're going to be leveling up consciously here soon.
I'm with it.
Fuck yeah. Let me know. Listen, I've tried to astral project and shit, bro. Like I've tried to do shit like that. Like it's so hard to quiet the mind without falling asleep. It's like, oh, okay. Quiet the mind.
That shit, you'd be like,
yeah, right. It's like, all right, it's nap time. It's time to go to bed.
Here we go. We're done. Yeah, man. It's just so noisy out here for everyday humans.
That's probably by design, though, man. Imagine that. Imagine all of this shit was put here to make sure that you couldn't quiet your mind and really start to fucking pick up them frequencies, Let's see here. We're up to 25 now. 21 on X. Shout out to everyone on X. Shout out to the 3 on Facebook, 1 on Twitch holding it down. And I'm not sure about IG. Let's see here. We have 0 on Instagram. But yeah, so again, in other big news for anybody that's just following in, Trump signed an executive order that he was going to release the JFK files. Irv, what do you think is coming out of that?
More of the same, man.
Pre-prediction.
Just be a lot of shit that's connected between all of them: JFK, MLK, RFK, and UAP, UFO shit. All tied in.
I hope so, man. I just want it all to come out. Just hit me. That's what they should have did, to be honest, is just flooded everything years ago. And it would just been like, here, have at it. And then just it takes so long for everyone to get caught up that the government said they're not even going to care by the time they get caught up.
Maybe that's what's coming now.
Yeah, it's interesting. It should be. I really hope that there's information that's not just redactions. Like the same mid-level shit,
Yeah. Like 2 words on the fucking page.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see, man. We got some shit coming up, got all kinds of stuff. I'm hoping these other Stephen Greer. You see Stephen Greer started a podcast too?
Yeah. I've seen. He can't catch a break, Cats are always on his ass.
No, he was the original too, other than
Yeah, he's been holding it down like 30 years, bro. So I don't know, but cats hate him. Lou called him a terrorist.
No way, really?
Yeah.
What do you mean? I didn't hear that.
Yeah, Lou called him and a couple other the older dudes in the UAP shit terrorist or some. He's done like a bunch of cease and desist on cats lately. So yeah,
Lou has.
Yeah, real shit.
Look, man, you know what? To me, we had this conversation also, and just I guess before we start to wrap this episode up, we'll dive into it real quick. But we have to be careful of the trap that could be being set in what could be the biggest psyop ever, right? So we talked about this morning. A lot of these cats like Lou Elizondo, Chris Mellon, they've all been in intel. So we have to be realistic. We want to believe them. We want to say, yes, we believe your disclosure. But at the same time, we have to understand that they are going to profit off of this. So Lou is protecting his brand at this point, because I don't think when it comes to security clearances and it comes to shit like that, none of that matters. Nothing you're going to say online is going to matter. But it's almost like, say Joe Rogan had sent CNN a cease and desist when they said he was using horse dewormer. It's kind of similar. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, who the fuck cares what you say? You know? Instead, it's like, wait, we're going to do cease and desist. People can't have an open mind now. There's people that are picking Lou apart. Don't get it twisted. But he's got real credentials, you know?
Yeah, it could be to slow down your disclosure too. Like, who's going to be the first to push this shit through? You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I take it there's a lot to gain from being that dude or that team. Like, we did it.
Yeah. Well, so that's one thing that Corbell and George Knapp had spoken about, was on their most recent episode of Weaponized. They talked that, like, it's almost like the current disclosure is being curated differently. So like it's being handled differently. You know what I mean? And like you said, new guard, old guard. So it's like everybody's like, shit's fluxing and changing, and you know, and Corbell was like, they were pissed. They were like, yo, we don't like it. I guess the guy that did well, no. So let me see if I can find it. Actually, you know what? Let me see if I can find it real quick, I guess. Just a quick little the opening of their video, because they did like kind of like a Q&A thing too, but we'll skip that. It's like a minute long, I think, the introduction. But no, they were not happy, man. They were like, it's almost like somebody's trying to take it and curate it. It's almost like it's been hijacked. So, but again, different factions, you know. Weaponized podcast.
Yeah, because Corbell lost his shit when Nancy Mace, she didn't include like one of his letters in the briefing and shit. He was losing his shit about it. Like, she gave the credit to Schellenberger instead of Corbell.
Oh, really?
Like on the congressional record. And he was fucking super tight about that.
I guess I could see it. But at the same time, for me, Irv, that's like you accepting an award for the podcast and me being mad that I didn't get acknowledged. No, hell no.
Yeah.
We just did it. We did it. Like, we did it.
That's what it's like.
You know?
It's like, bro, your name shouldn't be important in this disclosure shit. I don't think. So I think that's
it doesn't fuck.
What's going on, bro. Just get the shit out there.
All right, so let me see here. Let me get some sound here. Oh, well, we got skip ad.
Should gave you a military question there.
Did that, Irv?
Yeah.
Is weaponized. Well, we are in a non-disclosed location because we got a party tonight. I'm going to you and I. I'm going to take these. Today
all right.
For,
so,
the
all right. Let me pause this here. Yeah, bro. Like I said, I think my Wi-Fi connection is fucked up. For some reason, my shit's just been weird tonight. But yeah, it's an episode of Weaponized, and he goes through it in the first couple minutes of the episode of how they feel that the information has been hijacked, and the Immaculate Constellation. I guess the release of the Immaculate Constellation shit got fumbled, bro. Maybe that's what he was talking about. As a matter of fact, maybe that's what he was talking about with the Schellenberger shit, the Immaculate Constellation. Because they said they fumbled the whole thing. They like promised this dude whatever, and then they broke the promise. Congress.
Yeah, I didn't understand why she would do that though. I don't know if maybe the ego thing. Maybe she don't like him. I don't know why she would.
Do you think it was a mistake though? Like, let's chalk it up to what it really could be though. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to lean more towards the nature of a human being than something like, yeah, it was so nefarious. We didn't want Jeremy Corbell on the record.
Let's leave him out. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I would feel like, again, but Corbell wasn't on that fucking panel either. So you had Schellenberger, you had not Grush, you had Gaudet, who was the admiral. Then you had Elizondo, and then you had the cat from where the fuck was he from? He was from some independent he was from NASA.
NASA. We need money, bro.
You remember?
Yeah, we need funding. That's all that dude cared about.
So for me, like, that's the type of stuff that kind of concerns me. Is like, I understand everybody wants their claim to fame, everybody wants to be in the history books, but you in essence you are. So again, if I was the guy in the background that was facilitating all of these things, okay, cool, I got the Immaculate Conception guy, he's gonna go into Congress. I'm not. I did that. Like, I did that. Do I need to have it plastered all over newspapers? I don't think so. So that type of behavior, same thing with the Lou Elizondo thing, man, is just like, I don't know, it's starting to get weird, it's starting to get funky.
It really is. There's a lot of infighting going on, but it's like we want to be in control of disclosure. It's like, just because you guys are digging in, and I don't think you can own disclosure, bro. Disclosure belongs to
the people,
citizens of the world. You know what I mean? Like, that's all I'm saying. Like, there's a lot of like, oh, I'm gonna disclose this shit. Like, take yourself out of it. Like, yeah, make your money, do whatever you gotta do, but don't make it about yourself.
Right, exactly. I'm okay with everybody making money as well.
Yeah.
I just feel like if Corbell had more, I don't know. Again, you don't have the credentials to be sitting on that panel. You know, to where Schellenberger does. You know, he's like a journalist and shit. Well, he's got the same fucking credentials as Corbell.
Yeah, basically.
So it's like, I don't know, man, but shit's getting funky. Everybody out there, just keep your eyes out. Obviously, we got different shit. We got some high school drama going on in the UFO world. We're just hoping for fucking some real disclosure. Irv, did you want to show that 4chan video before we close this thing up, or?
I won't be able to pull it up. I would love to, though.
No worries. We'll catch it next time.
I can't get it.
Yeah, no worries. Like I said, I gotta check my Wi-Fi, man, because my shit's been bugging lately. But you got anything else for these guys?
No. Keep your eyes to the sky and keep out for our next episode. We'll be back.
Yes, the fuck we will. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Make sure you consider supporting the channel, and we appreciate you guys. One love. Peace.